This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
Teslas are being torched across the country. Dealerships shot up and set on fire. Spray paint to vandalize and make a statement. People in Southern California are getting notes on their Teslas, calling them complicit Nazis for owning electric cars.
The names of powerful elites and politicians funding the Tesla protesters just got exposed. And now, Trump's new watchdog agency, DOGE, is launching an all-out investigation. What started as a wave of angry protests has exploded into firebombings, shootings, and sabotage. And it's not just about Tesla anymore. Charging stations are being attacked, cities vandalized. Elon Musk is calling it what he thinks it is, a conspiracy. At the center of it all is Elon Musk, billionaire, Tesla CEO, and now head of Trump's controversial Department of Government Efficiency. Since joining Trump's inner circle, Musk's enemies have multiplied, and the backlash is turning violent. But instead of backing down, Musk is firing back. He's naming names. Top Democrat donors, activist groups, even accusing platforms like ActBlue of funneling money to fund what he calls a covert insurgency. And Karoline Leavitt isn't holding back either. From torching Democrats for their silence to hinting at extreme penalties, even the death penalty, she's becoming the most aggressive voice defending Musk and attacking the left. Let's break down the chaos and what it means for Elon Musk, Tesla, and the future of Trump's America. Tesla is in huge trouble. As of April 2025, the company is facing pressure from all sides: political backlash, financial losses, and a wave of violent protests that's growing fast. At the center of it all is Elon Musk. He's not just running Tesla anymore, he's also heading Trump's newly formed Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Since taking the job in January 2025, Musk has pushed aggressive federal layoffs and deep spending cuts, moves that have made him a target for extreme hate. His influence is growing, and it's spreading fear throughout America. For many people, Tesla has become the face of that problem, and it's triggered huge protests around the world.
Tonight, authorities investigating what they're calling a targeted attack on a Tesla repair center in Las Vegas. This dramatic video showing multiple cars in flames. According to authorities, the suspected arson occurred early this morning.
As a consequence, Tesla's bottom line is taking a hit. Deliveries dropped 13% in the first quarter of 2025, their worst performance in 3 years. And Chinese competitors like BYD are gaining ground with cheaper, more advanced vehicles. Tesla's losing market share fast. Since March 2025, over 200 protests have broken out at Tesla facilities, and the situation is growing increasingly violent by the day.
Is Elon Musk's business empire in trouble?
How are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty.
It started with groups like Tesla Takedown, organized protests against Musk's growing power within the government. They rallied thousands around the world, showing up at Tesla showrooms, charging stations, and factories. They wanted people to know Elon Musk is a threat, and he has to be taken down before he destroys America.
He's a danger to our democracy. He's going in and getting our private data. He's firing workers that are scientists, that give out, that help our veterans. He's closing departments.
But it didn't take long before these protests turned aggressive. Since January, more than a dozen Tesla sites have been targeted with firebombs. In Loveland, Colorado, and Salem, Oregon, attackers returned multiple times, using bombs to ignite buildings. In South Carolina, it got even more extreme. A man accidentally set himself on fire while trying to torch a charging station in North Charleston. In March, Tesla's dealership in Tigard, Oregon, detonated into gunfire. Shots rang out, damaging cars and smashing infrastructure. Then came the Las Vegas attack. 5 Teslas burned, gunfire reported, and a single word sprayed across the scene in giant red letters: resist.
When police arrived, they found 5 vehicles set on fire or damaged, and the word resist spray painted on the front of the business.
And it's not just about Tesla anymore. Charging stations are being defaced with anti-Trump graffiti and messages like "Long live Ukraine," signaling that this movement is growing into deeper political divisions. The protests have become a flashpoint, not just for Musk's critics, but for a much bigger war against the system. Federal law enforcement is now fully involved too. Attorney General Pam Bondi has called the violent acts domestic terrorism. 3 people have already been indicted for arson, and if convicted, they're facing mandatory 5-year sentences. The FBI and ATF are investigating whether these attacks are being coordinated. And Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doubling down on the idea that this is a politically funded campaign, a targeted effort to take them down. They've hinted at politicians, elites, and insider funding, but so far, nothing they have said is cooling the protests down. The danger is growing by the day.
But I am kind of perturbed by the sort of how aggressive these protests are. You know, where it's like, you know, there are people at these protests calling for the death of the president and death of me and, I don't know, probably death of others.
But as the hate intensifies, Elon Musk is unraveling. As Tesla's stock crashes and protests escalate, he's gone full scorched earth, saying the protesters are paid puppets and claiming that there's someone behind the scenes funding and organizing them. All the while, Tesla continues to fall. The stock has dropped over 50% since December 2024. Layoffs and factory slowdowns are hitting hard, and confidence in the brand is collapsing.
Tesla just continues to disappoint. Is this all because of Elon Musk's other activities, or have the sort of, first adopters already filled their garages?
It's kind of all of the above.
But instead of addressing the crisis, Musk is lashing out, saying that he's a victim of a sinister conspiracy theory. Federal agencies, including the FBI and ATF, have confirmed that while the violence is real, they haven't found signs of a coordinated funding network. Most attackers appear to be acting alone. But Musk isn't backing down. He claims that there are elites who are out to destroy him.
Yeah, I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there is this level of really hatred and violence. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
What's more, amidst all the chaos, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt isn't backing down. She's become one of the loudest voices defending Tesla and attacking the protests. In a March 21st interview on Fox News, Leavitt said the Trump administration would push for the harshest penalties possible. When asked if the death penalty could apply in extreme cases, like if someone died in a Tesla fire, she sidestepped, instead doubling down on Trump's promise to restore law and order. But even though she dodged the question here, you can read between the lines. For her, nothing is off the table to defend Musk, even death.
Restoring the death penalty. Do you think this sort of thing, and I hate to think it, people leave their children and pets in cars. I mean, you don't know. This is deadly, dangerous stuff these liberal protesters are playing with.
Yes, it is, Harris. And what I can tell you is that President Trump condemns this violence, and he is determined to restore law and order in our country, and he will ensure that the harshest penalties are pursued for those who are engaging in this vicious violence.
Leavitt also went after Democrats, accusing them of hypocrisy. The Democrats used to be the greatest cheerleaders for Tesla until Elon Musk decided to support Donald Trump. She backed Attorney General Pam Bondi's investigations, which have already led to federal arson charges and mandatory 5-year sentences for 3 suspects. Leavitt's message is the same as Trump's. The administration is framing the protests not just as public outrage, but as left-wing terrorism.
The Trump derangement syndrome from the left is on true display with these attacks. It is getting dangerous, and the White House wholeheartedly condemns it. And we applaud Attorney General Pam Bondi for investigating these acts as domestic terrorism.
But that's not all. In a shocking development, Musk decided to expose names. On March 8, 2025, he took to X and publicly accused a list of progressive donors and activist groups of funding the Tesla protests. He claimed the entire operation is being run through Act Blue, a Democratic fundraising platform now under federal investigation for alleged campaign finance violations. Musk called out 5 organizations: Troublemakers, Disruption Project, Rise and Resist, Indivisible Project, and the Democratic Socialists of America. According to him, these groups aren't just protesting, they're leading a coordinated effort to take down both Tesla and Trump's newly formed DOGE initiative.
Elon Musk responding on his social media site X, placing the blame on the Democratic organization Act Blue as responsible for the protests. He blames other organizations within Act Blue, like Seattle organization Troublemakers and the Disruption Project.
Then came the biggest shock. Musk named 5 high-profile Democratic donors he says are bankrolling the chaos: George Soros, Reid Hoffman, Herbert Sandler, Patricia Baumann, and Leah Hunt Hendricks. He claims each one is channeling money into these activist groups through Act Blue-linked pipelines, fueling what he calls a covert domestic insurgency.
Musk tweeted that Soros reminds him of Magneto, a comic book supervillain. Both, of course, Soros and Magneto are Holocaust survivors and Jewish. Musk's reply, he wrote, Soros does not have good intentions and, quote, wants to erode the very fabric of civilization. Soros hates humanity.
In a March 10th post on X, Musk directly accused George Soros of funding the protests, claiming Soros was trying to destroy him for disrupting global influence. Protest groups fired back immediately. Indivisible, one of the biggest organizers, called Musk's theory paranoid nonsense. Co-founder Ezra Levin even joked, if George is funding us, he's late with the check.
It's really wild. So, I mean, it was inevitable that at least a few Soros operatives would be in the audience. Give my regards to George. Say hi to George for me.
Soros, through his Open Society foundations, was singled out for allegedly funneling $7.6 million into Indivisible between 2017 and 2023. Soros hasn't responded, but organizers on the ground brushed it off, calling the protests grassroots and denying any link to billionaire influence. Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn, publicly denied involvement and fired back at Musk, saying this is personal. In an interview with the BBC, Hoffman said Musk's accusations are nothing more than revenge for his role in helping OpenAI succeed after Musk's exit. Act Blue, for its part, has stayed quiet, even as pressure builds. Musk says the platform allowed foreign donations to sneak in and fund what he's calling politically motivated vandalism. He pointed to the resignation of 7 top executives in February as proof something's seriously off. But so far, no public statement. Musk didn't stop there, though. In a March appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, he doubled down, mocking protesters who compared his Trump-era salute to a Nazi gesture. Frankly, they need better dirty tricks, Musk said. The everyone is Hitler attack is so tired. He went even further, claiming that certain elites aren't just out to ruin him, they want him dead.
I think they actually want to kill me. I mean, the reason I know this, well, they say so online. You know, there's like Reddit forums where they don't just want to kill me, they want to desecrate my corpse.
Despite the noise, federal investigators haven't found any solid link between the donors and the violence. Most attacks appear to be isolated, lone actors, not a coordinated effort. But Musk is still pushing the idea that this is a political war, one funded by elites to destroy his reforms and derail Trump's government. Meanwhile, protest groups aren't slowing down. The Indivisible Project is still leading its hands-off rallies and says it has no connection to criminal activity. At the same time, chapters of the DSA are pushing a Tesla boycott, saying Musk's political power is dangerous and undemocratic. But there's one major problem with Musk's theory. It doesn't explain the global protests. In March, a massive "Don't Buy Tesla" message was carved into a 250-meter beach in Wales. European vandals have also hit Tesla superchargers. There's no connection to U.S. donors, no proof of a coordinated global conspiracy. The scale of it just doesn't seem to fit the story.
The burned-out wrecks of 17 Teslas litter the forecourt of a dealership in Rome after a fire took hold during the night from Sunday to Monday.
Still, Musk isn't letting go. He says this is a paid hit job, an organized campaign backed by Democratic elites to wipe him out. Whether it's true or not, one thing is clear. Musk is melting down, and he's desperate to survive this takedown.
I always thought the left, or Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships, they're firing bullets into dealerships, they're just, smashing up Teslas.
Right now, the pressure on Elon Musk is unlike anything he's faced before. There's talk that Musk might step down from DOGE, that the backlash, the protests, the political heat, it's all becoming too much. Sources inside Washington say the White House is split. Some officials want Musk out before the chaos spreads any further. Others believe he's too important to Trump's agenda to lose. But here's the truth. Musk hasn't said a word about stepping down. In fact, he's doubling down. Every post, every podcast, every public move suggests one thing. He's ready to fight to the end. And as for Tesla, some are already calling it a company in freefall. Stock prices are down, orders are slowing, factories are quiet. And with hundreds of protests all over the world, Tesla may be forced to scale back operations or even shut down key locations. There's real concern inside the company that this could be their breaking point. The question is, what happens if Musk loses? Does he walk away from DOGE? Does Tesla go underground while competitors take over the market? Or does Musk retreat with his billions, cashing out while the empire burns? Right now, there's no clear answer. But one thing's certain. The walls are closing in, and Elon Musk is at the risk of losing everything.
I've never done anything awful. I've only done productive things. So I think we just have a deranged... there's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense.
So, what do you think? Is Elon Musk a victim of sabotage? Or is he finally facing the consequences of unchecked power? Should the death penalty be on the table for protesters linked to violent attacks? Are Democrats secretly funding chaos to destroy Trump's government from the inside? Let us know your opinions in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit like, share it around, and subscribe so you're always in the loop. And if you're ready for more, click the next video and keep going.